I'm Pickle the Satyr. Do you know what a satyr is? It's a goat boy. Imagine your story at the Tulsa City County Library.
Hi, my name is Gary Bennett. I am a stone carver.
Hi, I'm Melanie McNew. I'm Gary Bennett's apprentice.
This is pretty much the process, and it's basically going over and over it again. Now this point chisel here was actually handmade by a blacksmith. Your stone carvers of the day were also blacksmiths, because they had to not only be able to make their own tools, they had to be able to sharpen their own tools. And the way they sharpened the tools is that they didn't use a grinder. Grinder was wasting the steel. When the tool got dull, they would take the hammer and heat the tool or the chisel back up and pound it out and resharpen it that way. So the stone carver had to know how to temper. He had to know how to shape his tools. And you can see by looking at this one here, if you can see it closely, you can see the hammer marks in it. And a good carver could set up a rhythm. See how that layer popped out of there? You can actually come along and be real careful and follow the bottom of that ridge around. Then you can work back to it a little bit, as long as you don't go too deep, too fast. Once you have worked this into this, then we're going to move on to the next one. I do get some of my tools out of a place called Town Holden, which is up in Vermont. It actually is a blacksmith shop that makes stone carving tools. Some of them come from Italy. If you're just getting started and you don't have anything, you can always start out with a railroad spike. Here is a flat chisel and a tooth chisel. We use rasp. Here's a wood chisel here. It's a wood carving tool, and it works very well for certain things. This is what's called a roundel, and there's three of them here, 3 different sizes, which is basically a flat chisel that's just been rounded over. Say I want to get into this round part. That flat chisel wouldn't work very good in here. So now I can take my roundel and clean that up in there. And what I'm doing now, instead of removing stone for the sake of leveling, I'm just coming in here and using this as a texturing tool. And it creates a texture I want. You know, one's got 3 teeth, one's got 5, but these are real flat. This is a very aggressive tool. This is used for, you know, doing a lot of, you know, getting the stone nice and flat. This one here is used for taking off large pieces at a time. The tooth chisels is a little bit different. It's got a little rounded. This is a beautiful tool. One of the first tools that I fell in love with from the beginning, from the early days, and used it a lot, was this little chisel here. A friend of mine made this for me. And I can use this chisel and this mallet and create this entire carving if I wanted to, because I can come in now, I can use it as a point chisel. I think it gives it makes a good definition of the letters. Besides that, it'll weather a lot longer.
Particular qualities.
This is a floor broom. There's another paintbrush. I use wire brushes. This is a scrub brush. A lot of what I use is what I have available. And that's not all unlike what they would have had. You know, I might get real serious and use a great big chisel. And I'll wire brush it. And that will kind of even out everything. And then I may take a finer one and when I've got that done, I come in with some wax and I can smear on it, and that's where I use a toothbrush, and then kind of polish it a little bit. Might sand it a little bit, but not much. I leave the background like this because that's what I consider my style, what I started with, and I've just continued it, and it's finished.
I'm tickled the satyr, and I'll see you next time.